Welcome to beautiful Pitlochry. Pitlochry is situated around about 27 miles north of Perth and 86 miles south of Inverness. We start our walk on the southern side in the lovely village of Portnacraig, close to Pitlochry town centre and theatre, on the southern side of the River Tummel. Beautiful views towards the dam. The Tummel Suspension Bridge was opened by the Duchess of Atholl on Empire Day 1913. Was built to replace the Portnacraig ferry, which had crossed over the river since the 12th century and links the town of Pitlochry to the hamlet of Portnacraig. The bridge was constructed by girder pylons and rope cables. A close examination of the steelwork shows that the bridge was actually manufactured by a Lancashire steel company. It cost in the region of £850 and was funded by public subscription and a grant of £250 from the Highland District Committee. The suspension bridge is used by walkers following the 79-mile Rob Roy Way on its way to Pitlochry. Be prepared for a very bouncy crossing over the bridge. However, this gives you perfect views of the Pitlochry Dam and fish ladder. As we head over the bridge to the southern part of Pitlochry, we have Tummel Crescent on the left and the Pitlochry Recreation Ground and Skate Park on our right. As we head up the ferry road towards the A924 or the High Street, everything in Pitlochry is in walking distance. The Pitlochry War Memorial was unveiled in 1922. It is a Category C listed structure. It stands just in front of the town's Memorial Garden, and it was initially built for 81 men and 1 woman from the parish who died during World War I. Pitlochry is a beautiful town in Perth and Kinross Council area. Lying on the River Tummel, it is historically in the county of Perthshire and has a population, according to the 2011 census, of 2,706. Obviously the population has increased since 2011. However, it almost doubles at certain times of the year, and we'll get onto that later in the video. You might be asking yourself, why visit Pitlochry? Well, it's in the heart of Scotland, with real hospitality, clear sparkling air, beautiful scenery, rich clan history, fine food, plenty of space and lots to do and see. Pitlochry is best known for the dam and fish ladder, which you'll see later on in this video. The distilleries, there are 2 of them in the town to choose from. And the Festival Theatre, which is one of the best theatres in Scotland, if not Britain. Best known for its rolling summer plays, 6 or 7 of them throughout the year. The area that you see just now on the screen is the Coach House and Fisher's Hotel. This is the area that you would line up for the famous Pitlochry Enchanted Forest. I have a video on the channel of the Enchanted Forest, and it would be a must see for any family or couple. Pitlochry may be a small town in Scotland, however it packs a huge punch. It has abundance of charm and scenery. Many visitors love Pitlochry, returning on a yearly basis. With its wide range of attractions and activities, from the Festival Theatre to Pitlochry Golf Course and natural landscapes, you'll find that there are many things to do in Pitlochry. Just up on the right hand side is the A924. If you travel up that road for about 5 minutes, you'll get to the Pitlochry Standing Stone. That's 5 minutes by car, not by walking. The Standing Stone is quite a big fella, heavily encrusted in quartz and more than 7 foot tall. It's quite chunky, with its lower half being somewhat slimmer than the top. It's well worth having a look. Usually open between 7 and 4 every day of the week apart from Tuesday. The Pitlochry area is considered to be one of the most beautiful areas in Scotland. Best of all, many attractions are an easy walking distance away from excellent self-catering guest houses and hotels. Why not travel into the history and make Pitlochry your next visit? If you are travelling to Pitlochry by bus or train, you might be wondering, what can I do in Pitlochry without a car? As I said before, there is lots to do and even more if you enjoy walking. Here are some of the things that you can do in Pitlochry without a car. The Pitlochry Dam and Fish Ladder is a must-see. Watch the salmon swim upstream. The dam is only 5 minutes walk from the centre of town, and you can visit the visitors centre. It has a little cafe inside and serves food, cakes and coffees all day long. Why not try Craigor Hill, which would take you around 2 to 3 hours depending on walking speed. It has some cracking views from the town and all the way up Loch Tummel to Glencoe when it's on a clear day. You could take a stroll down the River Tummel. There are many paths and bridges to see along the way with some great views. Or even take a walk round Loch Fascally, which takes around 1 to 2 hours depending on your walking speed. You've even got the chance to stop off at the Pitlochry boating station for lunch. The white building you can see on the right hand side is a place where the old blacksmith used to work. Now a modern pub, the old Smiddy Inn. Pitlochry is quite famous for its architecture, most of it Victorian, however, some is much older. That little white house that sits just off the road that you could drive past and not notice is a prime example. This little 18th century Sunnybrae cottage is the oldest house in Pitlochry. It's a typical highland cottage and built many years before the town we know today. Sunnybrae House wasn't always a house. It used to be a pub, and with all good old things, there's always a legend attached to it. Legend has it that a fight broke out in the pub between two locals. Tragically, one was killed and the other ran off. Bear in mind this is 1767. The story goes that the murderer stayed behind and hid in the town until the day of the funeral. Crazy as this may seem, the killer may be relying on some Highland traditions. According to the story, a killer can escape punishment if he sees the light underneath his victim's coffin. We said before, Pitlochry doubles in size. One of these said events that does this is the Enchanted Forest. The trees and water around Loch Dunmore, a beautiful small little area, are set with lights, art features and sounds. Travelling to and from the woods are done by a series of coaches picked up and brought back to the centre of Pitlochry. Each year, the Enchanted Forest of Lights, sometimes referred to as the Magic Forest, attracts in the region of 80,000 people of all ages to walk around this beautiful lit forest at night. Since we're having a look at the railway tracks, it's probably a good time to say that we're going to be actually visiting the train station in Pitlochry, just in case you're travelling up by train and you can see what you're going to be expecting in the area. Just to the north of Pitlochry is one of the Ben Mountains, Ben Vrackie. It's not a Munro, it's a Corbett. You hill walkers out there will know exactly what that is. However, for the non-hill walkers amongst you, the Munros are the tallest of the mountain ranges. Next comes Corbetts, then the Grahams, and then the Donalds. Donalds being the smallest of the four. We're just going to be heading down towards where the coaches will be parked, and then off to the train station, and then off to the dam. Pitlochry is on the main Highland railway line connecting London to Glasgow to Edinburgh and then on to Inverness. Pitlochry train station is in the centre of Pitlochry. The rail line runs parallel with Pitlochry's main street, Athol Road. The station is set back from the main street about 100 metres, giving a very easy and short walk to the shops, restaurants and hotels. Pitlochry is the second busiest train station in Perthshire, with an annual turnover of around 125,000 passengers entering and exiting here. The Pitlochry station car park is small and located right next to the station. Taxis can be difficult to get a hold of, so it is worthwhile booking in advance. You can pick up taxis on SR Taxi on 01796 473 931 or Elizabeth Yule's taxis on 01796 472 290. So when you go under the bridge, if you keep on going straight, that heads off towards the observatory. Going to the dam is up to the left. So the dam itself isn't that far away from the actual train station. As you can see by the video, it's only on the other side. So where the camera's pointing now, that's where you can walk down to the river at the back of the car park. Okay, you're now on the remaining stretch of the path and heading off towards the dam. It will split into two. If you go right, it will take you northwest along the riverbank towards Fascally Forest. If you go left, it will take you to the visitor centre and to the dam. When you do go left, the little path that goes off up on the left hand side will take you to the visitor centre, and keep going straight on to go towards the dam. I'll shut up just now to try and give you the full experience of the noise and the power of the actual water that's flowing through the dam. Heading up the river tunnel, one of the first things you'll bump into will be Fascally Forest. This is where the enchanted forest is in October. I have to remind you that going on the dam is completely free. I hope you got some sort of experience there about how loud it was. Trust me, it's at least 5 times, 10 times louder when you're there in person. As we're heading along this little corridor, you get little windows that you can view down to where the boiler rooms, etc., are for the dam itself. Whilst walking over the dam, I got the strangest feeling that I was on some sort of Hollywood movie set. Wondering if anybody else has had that sort of experience when they went over there and went round the back. Has anyone heard of Edward Electricity McCall? Well, I'm about to give you a little bit of history on who he is. Just before I do, whilst we're heading through the video, you'll be able to see, or start to see, the water ladders where the fish is able to move from one side of the dam to the other. So getting back to Mr. McCall, to mark the 80th anniversary of the law that brought hydroelectric to the Scottish Highlands, a new biography from Edward Electricity McCall has been published. You can purchase this in the Dam Visitor Centre. McCall is hailed as an engineering genius, played a pivotal role in bringing power to homes and businesses all across northern Scotland, serving as an integral chief executive in the Hydro Board. McCall was born in Dumbarton in 1882. He quickly developed a lifelong love for the area of Argyll and the Highlands, developing an intimate knowledge of the local landscape and helping pioneer hydropower to Scotland. So as you look at the water, would you believe me if I told you that the Highland Games used to be played somewhere under there? Well, I'll tell you now. Pitlochry Dam was built between 1947 and 1951 as part of a network of dams in the Highlands to generate electricity. The River Tummel, as we can see just now, was dammed up, flooding the old Pitlochry Highland Games field, today known as Loch Fascally. Oh, the fishing ladder. What do you know about it? What do you know about salmon? Well, I'm about to give you a little brief insight into it. The ladder is specially constructed to enable salmon to pass by the dam and make their way upstream to Loch Fascally above. The ladder is 310 metres long and consists of 34 chambers, linked together by tunnels that the salmon can swim through. Before moving on, I would like to say thank you very much for coming to the channel, and if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button if you like what you see and hear. Thank you. It enables around 5,000 salmon to return to their spawning grounds each year, a journey of some 6,000 miles. However, the chances of seeing a salmon are slim. Autumn is usually when they are most prolific. In the distance here you can see the Dam Visitor Centre. The Dam Visitor Centre showcases a rich history of hydroelectric in the north of Scotland and how it transformed everybody's lives. On display are a number of artefacts that show how generations of homes have been transformed by electricity appliances. Pitlochry Dam is one of only 9 stations on the Tummel Valley hydroelectric scheme. It boasts 2 large turbines which together supply electricity for 15,000 homes. Look out for the new series The Forgotten, where we go around members of the community and interview them and find out their struggles and how they've got on. Everyone from alcoholics to ex-servicemen and women. How to say Pitlochry in Gaelic? Balmoral. Pitlochry was originally a Pictish settlement, and the name Pitlochry means place of the sentinel stone. What you're actually looking at is the Pitlochry Festival Theatre. It was founded by John Stewart in 1951 and it opened with its inaugural season in the autumn of '51. The aim of the Festival Theatre was to provide a summer season of plays. Okay, let's go on a deep dive. Who would have thought that a dream subscribed on a piece of paper during World War II and hidden by the River Tummel would grow to become a theatre of excellence? The journey over the last 70 odd years has had its ups and downs. Through the vision of John Stewart and the support of dedicated groups of enthusiasts, Pitlochry Festival Theatre has taken its place in the hearts and minds of people throughout Scotland and abroad. Thank you for coming around Pitlochry with us. Hope you've enjoyed yourself and you've learnt a couple of new things about the place. Why not visit in person? I'm sure the locals would love it. Remember, the Enchanted Forest is in October, but there's many more things happening throughout the year. From you to me, cheerio for now.